City. It's the Wendy Williams Show.
Thank you for watching. They're my co-hosts, my studio audience. How you doing? Bubbling over. Let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Come on. Royal talk continues. The invites are out for the royal wedding. We've got a picture of the invitation somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh. 600 people are invited to the church and to the luncheon, but only 200 people are invited to the evening party. In other words, turn-up time. So 600 people, how many of those people do you think are on Meghan's list? 25 at best? I mean, you have to make room for royal protocol, the royal bankers, the royal dressmakers, the royal, you know, the royals don't even know 600 people. They are doing payback because you know, well, the word is that the royal family is royally in debt. They always talk about that in the magazines and stuff. Please, I don't know what that means because their debt is different from our debt. You know what I mean? But, you know, 600 people, I would want to go to the after party with the DJ. And a good DJ. I can't even figure out why they're still entertaining the possibility of Ed Sheeran being there or the Spice Girls. No confirmation on whether either will be there, but I hate a performance at a party when you're supposed to be on the dance floor, because you don't know what to do. Like, you want to pay respects by throwing your lighter up and listening to the songs and singing along on one hand. On the other hand, I want to dance. I've had a lot to drink. And sorry, Spice Girls, I've got to get down with this man. So I could be next. Dress code on the invitation says that men must don military uniform or a morning coat with a lounge hat. I don't know what a lounge hat is. Around the way, a lounge hat is a fitted turned backwards. You know, although I'm sure that she has limited invites, so probably very few people will be there from her old life. You know, her mother will be there and her father will be there. I don't know that he's walking her down the aisle. She doesn't have bridesmaids, which is probably for the best considering she's a commoner. You know, as are you, as am I. You don't want us all up in your wedding, possibly messing up your chance at temporary happiness. Oh, please. This woman is a year older than him. She's a divorcee. She 3 years older than him. A divorcee from Crenshaw who's had an acting career. She's interviewed here at Wendy for a job. She's, I told you this. Yes, she's as random as me and you, okay? And so now she's been asked to give up everything about her old life to be, you know, the Duchess. And I would do it too. Until maybe 5 months or 8 months, okay, I'll give it a year. Until a year in when I realized, you know what? I think I want to smoke my cigarette out in the back. And I'm not going to hide it from you, Harry, or that woman you call grandma anymore. And second of all, Harry, I'm tired of having to, play with orphans all over the world all the time. When are we gonna work on our own baby, Harry? And by the way, Harry, are you always off flying someplace? Why do I feel so lonely here? And I'm tired of these people around me telling me what to do, telling me what to wear, telling me how to walk. I always have a driver with me. I can just never stop and do. Realize she's given up every part of her normal to be the new normal. Clap if you do it anyway. So would I. So would I. So would I, but I would also know that eventually I would spiral out and become like Fergie. Remember Fergie with the red hair? The Duchess was, she was a real Spitfire. She would drag Diana, the late great, into Spitfire ways. I loved their friendship. Anyway, so the royal wedding is going to be on May 19th. Now, is it going to be on TV? Yes. Is Maury going to be on? I could say, please give me a Maury marathon or something. I'm not watching, I don't care. I care about the rest of the story, and that'll be in about a year. All right, good luck, royals. So now, Khloé is about a month away from giving birth to her first child, Khloé Kardashian. And Tristan's mother is insisting that he get a prenup. Well, he's recently signed an $84 million contract to play there in Cleveland. His 84 is a pittance compared to what Khloé is worth and potentially will be worth, in the future, depending on what she does. As long as she's not doing anything involving hosting, Well, she wasn't so good at that. She wasn't good at that. But Khloé and Tristan, okay, they're both planning their wedding this summer. It's a $2 million wedding. Why? And who do you invite? A $2 million wedding. And what costs $2 million? That's a lot. Khloé potentially, as I said, is currently out-earning him and will potentially out-earn him because all he needs is a swift twisted kneecap. And that career is a wrap. And that could be arranged by somebody who doesn't like him. I'm just saying, you know what All I'm saying is that these ball players, they're always doing stupid things with their bodies when they're not playing. Like, why are you gonna play basketball pickup games at the Rutgers in the middle of July? The Rutgers Park, they famously have, tournament games up there. And I know in your city where you live, there are basketball games and maybe some of the NBA players participate. You raise money for the children, for charity and things like that. I would rather raise money with my name than get out there and put my knee. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden you got some slick 18-year-old taking it to your knee. And now your NBA career is over and all you're left with is your $84 million, which you might not have been watching so closely, with the people maybe, perhaps, I don't know that this is Tristan, but the stories of these people who are very wealthy and then they have nothing. People robbing and stealing behind the scenes and next thing you know, he has $1 million. Look, and I don't blame his mom. She raised him, she's a single mom. She's looking out for her own well-being. Let's look at mom. There she is. Yep. You hang around with the Kardashians long enough and she wants her full package too. Bring it in at the waist, pop it out at the booty, lift everything up. No more plastic wigs. Now let me get something, good. You're only laughing because you agree. Here's this Chris. And now here's the other grandmother. There becomes grandma war in your head. Shout out to the grandmas in the audience. Are there any grandmothers here? Is there like a grandma war going on? Like whose hair is grayer but looks the flyest? But who, is there grandma war? Oh, shady cameraman. Sometimes there is, exactly. It doesn't stop. So Mrs. Tristan's mother is gonna wanna participate in grandma war. And so Tristan, get the prenup. Khloé, you get a prenup too, because at the end of the day, you know, prenups can always be overridden by a good lawyer, number one. And number two, just do it and just get married. This stupid $2 million. Is this gonna be on TV? Of course. Will Maury be on at the same time? Please. So, when I took my 3-week wellness break, I learned something new about myself. I learned how to separate Dr. Huxtable from Bill Cosby. Excuse me? You know, when your health is on the skids and you're sitting at home for 3 weeks, sometimes you go through something. Now, I still think he's guilty. Boing, 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 boing. I'm still Wendy. But I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm running out of stuff to watch on TV, and I look at the TV, and there's a marathon of The Cosby Show. And I'm loving the kids, and I'm loving, you know, in each community, there is that family that's like the Cosby family. In our, it was us. Mom, dad, both in the house. Mom, dad, funny people. Never saw dad, my father sleep on a couch. My sister was like Sandra, the older, stodgy one. I was the Lisa Bonet, the wild card who would do anything. And my brother Tommy is such a Theo, I can't even begin to breathe, to tell you. So it was nice seeing a family reflective of my own family on TV. And when I'm watching them, knowing what we know now about him, I was able to separate and really get into his sandwich making and Rudy running around and being cute. Didn't make me uncomfortable when she sat on his lap. I'll tell you what did make me uncomfortable each and every time I saw it. When he and Claire would have their sexy time together on that couch, stuff like this, because I'm like, okay, Felicia Rashad, what did you really know? Right? And why are you like the only one speaking up for him as opposed to out about him? Because Lisa Bonet has already said that he always had sinister energy to him. She used the word sinister. And the cousin Pam, you recognize Erica Alexander, she went on to be on Living Single. She says that Cosby wasn't the man she expected him to be. And sometimes she saw him do cruel things, but she won't elaborate. I don't need the elaboration. You know, in my mind, and aren't there 5 new women who've come out?
Yeah.
And plus there's the pimp of the show. We haven't talked about that. Do your research, see you Monday.
The pimp of the show?
There is somebody on the show who's been accused of just get him out, pay him off. Get him out, pay him off. Do your research.
I remember there was a guy he came forward. This was like 3
a guy or a
ago.
woman.
No, this was a guy.
All right, well do that research and the most recent research. I'll see you on Monday. So, and now, his lawyers are trying to ban anti-Cosby t-shirts, posters, and buttons from being allowed in the courtroom or outside the court for fear that it would influence the jury. Well, you know, first of all, who are these jurors that you don't know who Bill Cosby is? At some incarnation of his life, whether it's from I Spy with Robert Culp. I like that show too. It's from back in the day. I Spy or Fat Albert or this Cosby show. Who doesn't know him? And also, the trial is supposed to be in Philadelphia where he reigns as King of Philly. Even though Temple did have a building named after him, and they didn't take the building down, but they changed the name of it, which says a lot, because he gave a lot of money to Temple. Didn't Spellman give him a lot of money too? Also, didn't he give them a lot of money? And then they changed the name of the building?
Yep.
You know what? You can look for the pimps if you want, but he's...
Right.
5 more women are allowed to testify in the trial. The trial begins on April 2nd. Of course, we here will be watching. Yeah. So many people turned on me like a wild dog because I feel like Kevin Federline does deserve more than $20,000 a month. He hasn't asked for more than $20,000 a month since this child support and full custody. He's got full custody of his kids with Britney. She doesn't have it because Britney is dealing with her own issues. And so now Britney's dad, okay, because if you were watching earlier this week, I said $20,000 a month, their children are now 10 and 12. At 10 and 12, kids need more. Like, you need more security. The kids want to go for ice cream with their friends. They don't want to go with dad, that's corny. But if you want to go and hang out with your bros, then you've got to have security. Security costs a lot. Then every time they make a move for a park or a movie or anything that they do, it costs a lot. These kids might even have to change schools once or 3 more times because Britney is the one who puts them out there on Instagram all the time. These are current pictures of these boys. You know, and so because they are on an international stage right now in terms of her Instagram and her millions of followers, yeah, he needs, and I said double up and go for $40,000 a month. She's got it. She's got that Vegas show. She's the new Kenzo spokesperson. But here's where, and Britney is still not stable enough to take care of her own finances. Her dad is looking over, and her dad's one of the good ones. He's not ripping her off. He's looking over Jamie very meticulously at Britney's finances, and even the dad said, what do you need, you know, allegedly, what do you need this, this boost from $20,000 a month is enough, Kevin, why do you need this? The word is that Kevin kind of stammered as to why he needed it. See, Kevin, when you're gonna go and you're gonna ask for more money, you gotta have your bullet points already down, so that it makes sense. Because to me, it does make sense. He needs more money. These kids are getting older and they want stuff. What about when they go away to sleepaway camp? You can't possibly think that you're gonna send a Spears to a sleepaway camp without a tent full of security and a peephole. Yeah, to watch my kids. Like, watch my kids. That costs. And then how are they going to get there? Are they gonna ride that rickety bus? Driven by God knows what opioid. Shout out to the good bus drivers. Shout out to the good bus drivers, but on account of Bart Simpson, we all have a particular image of you. Remember, his bus driver was a mess. Anyway, so now Britney's father, on the heels of Kevin wanting more money, he wants tax returns from Kevin to make sure that he's not spending the money on the other 4 children that he has. Oh, yes. So there's 6 children living in the house full time, and Kevin is married. But so what if he's spending a little bit of the money on the other kids? Excuse me. Excuse me. If you're gonna have a blended home, then you gotta know how this works. Now, I don't have a blended home, but I read stuff. So you got the other 4 kids eating Eggos, while there's a chef over here twirling crepes for the Spears kids. Right? That's not fair. That's not fair. You know, when they go, and maybe you don't do Gucci runs with them, Kevin. You leave that up to their mom. But when you go to the Gap and you got all the kids with you, you gotta get something for the other 4. How old are the other 4 kids?
2 are older with Shar Jackson,
Oh.
and 2 are like young, like 4-ish.
All right, well,
with
the
the
2
new wife.
older ones with Shar Jackson, not them. But I'm talking about the younger ones who are really looking at daddy dealing with these other kids. Like, you want a stable environment for your kids. Have you changed your mind, Bitter, up in the audience? Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand that you have to share a little bit of this? That's like Kevin wants to build a pool in the backyard. So what, only the 2 kids can swim in it? Well, that's why you're not ready to blend. Grow up. Grow up. Sometimes you don't have to live through something to know it's not for you. So, you know, if you're a parent, then you know the whole birthday party thing, the RSVPs, they mean a lot. Unless you're inviting like 100 kids and then 5 of them RSVP, but they don't show up, it's not such a big deal. I don't know, I wouldn't see it such a big deal. My kid doesn't know 100 kids though. Anyway, there's a young boy, he invited 8 of his friends to a themed party. It's called Stranger Things. Do you know that show, Stranger Things? Okay, it was a Stranger Things birthday party. And the mom went out of her way and decorated part of the home like the apparently this is part of Stranger Things. This is some Stranger Thing food. This is the little boy, but he's only 12, so we couldn't show him. But he wants a Stranger Thing birthday party, so he invites out his other friends, maybe 11, 12, and 13 years old, invites them to their friends, and none of them showed up. Ah. Yup. Because this is how I feel, right? This is how I feel. When you're planning a party for your kid, you're supposed to tell them, first of all, don't just send an invite. You call and you speak with the mom. Unless the dad is Mr. Mom, then you speak with the dad. But you call and you speak with the mom and you say, look, Carol, I'm sending the invitations out in the mail, in proper mail. I'm not gonna email them. But just so that you know, I'm having a party for Jeffrey. It's a Stranger Things theme, and I'm only inviting 8 children. So the RSVP is really important. This is not a big party. And for me and you, yes, I got the wine. Yes, vodka, of course. We'll be in the other room. You know, I hired somebody to look after the kids while they stranger and thing. But I feel like you're supposed to tell the mother of the child that you're inviting how many children are coming to this party, just so that she knows exactly where she fits into that last minute, oops, I can't make it. She doesn't have to feel so bad. But maybe she sends a lovely gift. This happened to our son, Kevin. He was in maybe 2nd grade, and he had a party at our home. And at that age, you always invite the mothers to stay, and you always have the tequila and stuff, you know, in the other room. You invite the moms to stay. You don't do drop-offs for 2nd grade. Oh no, I'm not being responsible for your kid. Who's looking for your kid, you know? So I guess there might have been 20 kids invited to the party. These are all the kids that were in his class. And only 1 kid showed up. Well, I felt a ways about it. Never much blended in with those moms anyway. But I powered on, like, you know, I was that mom, you know, serving school cafeteria lunch, biting my tongue when I wanted to say something, you know, standing out in the cold, watching the kids, you know, at recess. I participated, you know, and it didn't stop me from participating, but what it did make me feel is, and wouldn't you know, by the way, the one mom who came with her kid is the mom who doesn't drink. So, anyway, so what did I learn from that? What I learned from that is you have to let the moms know. You can't just send out the invite, because I just sent out the invite. Also, you have to expect people to perhaps say yes and really mean no, because moms can be evil, stinking people. And when kids are of a certain age, you gotta invite everybody in a class. And by the way, 12 years old is way too young having a birthday party. Too old. What? At 12 years old, you want to go to a birthday party with string lights and a theme? Are you serious, man? You want electronics these days? You want to go to like a batting range or a bowling alley or something? You want to do something other than be in your house with a childish themed birthday party. Mom, I get your kid loves Stranger Things, but imagine being the 8 kids invited. Like, I ain't going there, I'm going to the mall. You know, Samantha goes to the mall. And she said this is the one day that her mom's not gonna let, and this is the mall with the movie theater attached, so. And I got a gift card for the movie, so maybe I can get her to go to the movies. No, I'm not going to Henry's birthday party. Stranger Things, please. Just saying, just saying, just saying. And don't lie to me, co-host, you never do. Clap if you think 12 years old is too old to be having a birthday party with a theme. That's all I'm saying. And on that note, we've got more great show for you today. Oh, he's in town. He is in the building. Empire star Jussie Smollett is here, so grab a snack